Today, obviously, things took a drastic turn, with the Zionist entity bombing a hospital, killing 500. Intentionally, by the way. Keep that in mind, they don't make accidents. Because if you recall, just about a week and a half ago or so, we heard from Netanyahu that he said he was going to traumatize Gazans with something they won't forget for decades to come. So why is the Zionist entity seeking revenge against the people of Gaza? It's actually very simple. Because Hamas humiliated the IDF, humiliated it to such an unprecedented extent that one could argue it even surpasses the bloody nose the Arabs gave the Zionists in the Yom Kippur War of 73. That, ladies and gentlemen, is exactly why. And the first point I want to get through is I want to end any ambiguity as far as the question of who bears responsibility for the bombing of the hospital. Because quite disgustingly, the Zionist state has taken it upon itself to deny the crime that it so very clearly committed in bombing the hospital, killing 500 people. Instead, they're claiming it was a rocket belonging to the Islamic Jihad which misfired and hit the hospital. Well, that just doesn't add up as far as the facts are concerned. So there's a few factors in determining, first of all, what kind of bomb this was. So the fuel explosion duration lasted 0.5 to 0.75 seconds. So it wasn't an incendiary device, that it was either overpressure or a fuel explosion, and there's minimal debris near the cars. Surrounding buildings shielded one side of the parking lot, preventing diesel, gas fires from reaching the vehicles. All windows in nearby buildings shattered due to the primary and fuel explosions. The final video displays a smaller fuel explosion, and submunition release is less clear. So the explosive device likely ranged from 300 to 600 pounds. Larger bombs would have scattered more debris. A 700-pound bomb would have caused more damage to the buildings, and more visible damage is attributed to the fuel explosion. So here are the possible munitions: a NATO bomb, a US bomb, a US bomb, and a US bomb. Based on the sound, this doesn't sound like a Hamas missile. It sounds like a JDAM missile, according to experts. Hamas doesn't have JDAMs, so based on the final conclusion, this couldn't have been Hamas, this couldn't have been Islamic Jihad, let alone Hamas, as claimed by the IDF. And the only actor who could have been responsible for this is the IDF. I mean, there's no question, there's no doubt about it. You wouldn't believe it. Look what's going on in Turkey, which is in NATO. They are storming the American embassy, the Israeli embassy, and they all drove to one of the American bases that are in Turkey, and what are they saying? They're saying to the Americans, and a lot of these people are holding America responsible, by the way. Now, why are people in the region holding America responsible? Because Biden sent the most powerful naval fleet to the shores of Israel and to the Mediterranean in order to protect Israel's war crimes. So they are holding America responsible because that was America giving Israel the green light to kill 500 people in a hospital. Look at this. Lebanese people are throwing stones at the French embassy. I was wondering earlier today, why did Macron kind of circumvent France's typical, ass kissing for Israel? Because France has turned Lebanon against it by standing with Israel. Honestly see Macron. I could see Emmanuel Macron coming out of this embassy and going, stop it, no, you don't do this is not allowed. I could see him doing that. Okay, so here it is. So the Zionist entity, which is known to use AI editing for images, I'll bet in a really sloppy manner, this is their reaction to the hospital bombing. They're claiming that it was Islamic Jihad, and they're going to release footage and intercepted conversations. So let me explain to you what exactly they're going to do. They're going to stage conversations in Arabic, claim they were intercepted, but were actually staged by none other than them, and the footage in question will be just as fake. So this is not going to be proof of anything. This is an announcement that they're going to make a movie, whether using AI or real actors, and that's it. Unfortunately for them, we can see the footage, and the people on the ground are the most reliable witnesses, especially the people in the hospital itself, such as the director of the hospital. The IDF told us, we warned you yesterday with 2 bombs, so why didn't you evacuate the hospital into this moment? All right, hold on. Didn't the IDF just say that this was Islamic Jihad? How can it be Islamic Jihad when the IDF also apparently warned the hospital that they were going to bomb it? If they warned the hospital they were going to bomb it, and in fact they did warn them with 2 bombs, how could that have been Islamic Jihad? Oh, did the IDF warn them that the Islamic Jihad was going to bomb the hospital? I don't think so. So what actually are we looking at here? They think we're stupid. That's what we're looking at. They just plainly think we're fucking stupid. There is no way to justify it. There's no way to absolve Israel of its responsibility. And what does that mean? That means exactly what the Iranian embassy in Syria. Time is up. All I want to say is that as a Muslim, as somebody who at least tangentially comes from this culture, I'm really happy to see the whole Muslim world unite. Iran, there's Shiites in Iran. I'm Shia too, but Iran, there's Shiites. And at 3 a.m., this is what they're doing. They're Shiites and they're not even Arabs. They're not Arabs and they're not Shiites. And yet they're with Palestine like this. Same thing in Turkey. They're not Arabs. They're Muslims, yes, but they're not Arabs. So this transcends a lot of the divisions that divide Muslims. To me, I just want to say, as someone who comes from this background, one thing I'm happy about amidst all the things that are so horrible that you hear about is I cannot believe the show of unity coming from the Muslim world. Also, I want to say something else. I kind of became something of a cynic. Not a cynic, but I had a very dark view of the internet. I've seen how much human life has been devalued. First of all, it started dealing with leftists and their response to Daria's murder. I was shocked. Just a callous disregard and desensitivity toward human life. And overall, I started to encounter all these disgusting, nasty communities who really just, they're talking about how they want to genocide and kill and rape all these different people. And I was like, wow, we have lost any sense of the sanctity of human life on the internet. We just don't have it. But seeing the responses and the reactions to the unjust murder of people in Gaza has renewed my sense of faith that there is still a sanctity of human life that people believe in. But when push comes to shove, when these events happen, when it's put right in front of them, human beings in general will believe in the sanctity of human life and will believe this is a crime. And even the Zionists are too ashamed to celebrate this in public. So Gaza is restoring our sense of the value and sanctity of human life.